What's up, everybody? NJ Sweat's back after UFC 251. I think we did pretty good on Saturday.
I did good. I know.
Some people we were with didn't do good.
Nah, they did not. But I won money.
Sorry
I
for
think
the
you
day
won money.
fight. Sorry for the day fight.
Yeah,
But
that was.
I had Usman. I was all over Usman. I went big.
Mhm.
Won a little bit extra money, so that was good. We got an exciting fight night coming up Wednesday.
Yeah, International Fight Week.
Hell yeah. So, you want to start us off?
I will. First fight. First fight I'm picking. I am gonna go Jared Flash Gordon. This guy needs a win in the UFC. Like a big win. Coming off a loss to Charles Oliveira, he's fighting Chris Fishgold. The thing about Chris Fishgold is he gets hit, and Jared Gordon's a pretty good boxer, and pretty much what I think this comes down. It's going to be a stand-up battle here, and I think that Jared Gordon's boxing is going to prevail here. I think that he's really slick head movement, pretty good counterpuncher, and the fact that Chris Fishgold takes some shots. I think Jared Gordon at minus 145 right now. I think that's pretty good value. I think that line's like right where it needs to be. And yeah, I feel like if Jared Gordon can get some momentum going here, he can get some bigger fights potentially, and maybe at one point in his career get a shot at the top 15. And I hope that he does, because I'm taking him at minus 145.
Yeah, I haven't really looked into this fight yet, but probably after this video, I'll do some research, maybe tweet about it.
Mhm.
But my first fight is Tim Elliott. I mean, I gave you guys Tim Elliott like a month ago.
We're sucker for this.
It sadly lost. He got tapped out.
Yeah.
He was really active in that fight, and then he got tapped out by Brandon Royval.
Yeah.
This guy needs a win. You know what? I thought he was borderline going to get kicked off the roster, but he just got a new contract.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he's got a new contract, and he kind of took a shot at our boy Mike Perry.
Oh shit! What'd he say?
He said, a reporter asked him, "Why'd you get a new contract? Like, you haven't been winning or nothing." He's like, "I'm a company guy. Like, all these other guys are out here getting drunk and doing stupid shit. Well, I'm just here putting my head down and fighting. You're fighting, but you're not winning." But
That's true. He
he's
just seems like a company guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's versing Ryan Binoy,
Mm-hmm.
and he was supposed to fight a couple fight nights back versus Tyson Nam.
That's
He
right.
got COVID.
Yeah.
Benoit's 10-6. This guy literally is just all knockout power.
Yeah, he's a big
If
dude.
Tim Elliott loses, it's because he's on the mat dead.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tim Elliott's just going to be really active in this fight. I think he has the better cardio. Maybe like if he could
doesn't
survive
exert.
if he could survive those power shots, and after the first round, he could definitely tire Benoit out and take him to the ground and do that little Tim Elliott scrappy shit.
Yeah, I think Benoit has decent cardio, but he tends to fade in the third round.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when it comes to the mat, these are both fighting 125. Like when it goes to the mat, it's probably going to be crazy scrambles because Tim Elliott, that's what he does. And I think it's pretty even on the mat, even though Benoit's been training with Gary Tonin. But yeah, I like it. I think Tim Elliott, this is fight to win here.
Yeah, and you're getting him at a discount, surprisingly. It's only like minus 130.
Yeah, that's it. And was Benoit he wasn't favored in that fight versus Tyson Nam, right?
I think it was even.
Huh.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I like that. I like Tim Elliott here. But my second fight here, I am gonna go with Jimmy Rivera over Cody Stamann. Yeah, to me, they're the same fighter. Both guys who kind of not rely on their wrestling, but they're everyone that comes in the fight will respect their wrestling enough to the point that they'll be able to strike. And I think both these guys striking has definitely improved as they've continued their UFC careers. But I just think Jimmy Rivera is a little bit better than Cody at this point in his career, mainly because of the competition he's faced. I mean, you look at his last 5 fights. Yeah, I mean, you look at his entire UFC career.
Mm-hmm.
He beat Pedro Munoz, who is fighting Frankie Edgar next week, or in August. Beat Uriah Faber. Beat Thomas Almeida when he was at his kind of peak. Lost to Marlon Moraes, which was a crazy knockout. But he beats John Dodson. Then he loses to Aljamain Sterling and loses to the now 135 champ, Peter Yan. So he needs a win here. And then you got Cody Stamann, who has some good wins for himself. Brian Caraway, Brian Kelleher. They're good fighters, but they're not on the level that Jimmy Rivera's been fighting. Jimmy Rivera's been fighting top contenders for his last 5 fights.
You know what I noticed about the Brian Keller fight?
Huh.
Cody kind of faded in that 3rd round.
He was starting to fade.
He was a monster in the first 2 rounds. And then he looked like he was about to not make it for a second.
Yeah, I remember sorting that one out a little bit. But no, I think that won't happen against Jimmy Rivera. Jimmy Rivera, I don't know if he'll get the finish because they're both so similar fight styles, and usually that results in a decision victory for someone. But I definitely think this is Jimmy Rivera's fight, especially at the line -135. I think that's a really good price for him. So yeah, I'll take Jimmy Rivera as my second fight.
Yeah, I like that too. I'm only gonna have 2 fights tonight, and my second fight is Calvin Kattar.
Love it.
Yeah, we were really both on Dan Ige versus Edison Barbosa, and
this is way different.
Some don't think he actually won that fight, but we're thankful that the judges gave it to him.
Judging, man.
Yeah, I mean, Barbosa dropped him in the 2nd round.
Yeah, that's one of those weird rounds there where like that was Iggy's round, and then he scores that knockdown. It's like
this fight is just completely under the radar. It's probably a better fight than anything that we saw last Saturday.
Most of that card was pretty brutal to watch. I think the 4 main card fights besides Usman Masvidal are pretty fun to watch, but that undercard was rough. I mean, yeah. But this fight's gonna be awesome.
Iggy's on a 6-fight win streak, and he comes in at a hefty underdog. He's like +250,
which is shocking considering the run he's on.
Mm-hmm. So Kattar is coming off a win versus Jeremy Stephens, and then he lost to Zabit before.
But that was a fight where he surprised some people too.
What, Zabit?
Yeah, because he looked really good. And he's someone who started to come on in that 3rd round.
Yeah, I think this gets finished. I don't think it goes 5 rounds.
I agree.
I think Iggy gets knocked out because he's a crazy ass dude.
Yeah,
he throws all power. Sometimes he leaves his shin out there, and Kattar is like one of the most pure boxers in the division.
Yeah, Iggy has this tendency to like get drawn into these like brawls, which is kind of his style at this point. But I think with Kattar here, like I think his sense of range, I think his striking is way too crisp, his counter punches are way too crisp, and just his kind of creativity is going to be too much for Iggy. And Iggy tends to get dropped and then come back and always kind of playing catch up. And I think if Kattar catches him here, Kattar's a finisher. Like Kattar, he's not going to let him get back in this fight when he gets on top and drops him potentially.
Yeah, because Barbosa let him get back in. I think Iggy definitely won that 3rd round.
Yeah. I love.
Is this your second fight?
So I went 2 fights too. I'm only gonna go 2 fights.
Yeah.
So
I'm wondering if this one was your second too, or do you have somebody else?
No, I had Rivera and who got pick first? Oh, Jared Gordon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I like those 2. -145, -135.
And what's your parlay for Wednesday?
My parlay, I have to go Kattar in there. Probably play him straight up with you.
Mm-hmm.
Then I am going to throw in Abdul Razak Alhassan at minus 350. He's coming off a domestic abuse charge. I long layoff, but at minus 335, I'm saying. The guy's a judo black belt, so you don't really have to worry about him getting taken down. And he's pretty good getting back to his feet. And the guy throws a heavy power. And when I say heavy power, I mean he every shot is to knock you out. And he's fighting Munir Lazez.
That guy is a knockout guy too.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna finish in that fight.
Yeah. That's now thinking about it, I do like the not to go to distance, whatever that would be.
Mm-hmm.
Just throw that in a parlay potentially. But my thing here is that Munir Lazez kind of throws some crazy shit, and he's probably going to do it in his first UFC fight. But Alhassan is kind of a veteran in this weight division, and he's fought some pretty good guys. And I think that if Lazez gets caught, it may kind of be the end of him. And for two guys that are going to be trying to knock each other out, as much as the line is favoring Alhassan, it's a bit risky considering how crazy Lazez fights.
Yeah.
I like him. I like him enough to throw him in a parlay with Kattar. And then I'm going to put Cody Stamann and Jimmy Rivera to go the distance at minus 300.
I like that too.
Yeah, because I just think, once again, I think they're really similar fighters. And hey, if you don't like Alhassan straight up, just pick that fight out to go the distance.
Yeah, also, Jimmy Rivera's 7 out of 8 fights have been in decision.
Yeah, he's totally a decision fighter.
Yeah.
But yeah, Alhassan, Kattar, and then Rivera, Stamann to go distance. That's going to come to plus 123. Not the best odds in the world, but I think that's a winner.
Yeah, I mean, I have a pretty simple parlay for Wednesday. I'm just trying to, not go crazy. This is a card where you just don't go crazy. Just get a couple wins.
Trying to make some
money. We got another fight night on Saturday.
Yeah.
So I'm going with Kazmat Chamiv.
Mm-hmm. I don't know anything about this guy.
Yeah. So this guy's versus John Phillips. And John Phillips is just he's a heavy ass 185. You would look at him and be think he's a light heavyweight or at least a heavyweight. He's thick.
He's thick, boy.
Yeah, and Kazmat is he's actually skinny for 185, but he's an all around jiu-jitsu guy. He reminds me of Feely, Davaj Feely.
Oh, Merab.
Yeah, Merab Davaj Feely. This weight class, he's actually 6-0 and he's making his UFC debut. And John Phillips is just literally knockout or nothing. And he came and he just won an underdog fight against Alan Amidowski.
Mm-hmm.
He knocked him out in 15 seconds. I think I like fading guys who get that knockout win, that quick knockout win coming off.
Right.
And just the fact that Kazmat is making his UFC debut and he's minus 360 tells me a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So him and Kattar, they're both minus 335, and that is plus 143.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that a lot. So,
what's your underdog? Dog segment time.
Dog segment time. So this card is a bit hard to pick an underdog, but I'm gonna go on the first fight, Jorge Gonzalez. Both these guys are making their UFC debuts. Kenneth Berg, a little bit more experience fighting in front of Dana White, as he was on the Contender Series at one point.
You know fun fact about this fight? This was supposed to be the co-main event of Tito Ortiz Chuck Liddell 3.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's a big step up to go from fucking Golden Boy Promotions to the UFC, especially considering that shit. fighting in Abu Dhabi. Holy shit. But in this fight, I'm going to go Jorge Gonzalez because both these guys are making the UFC debut. Let's see, I believe this is at heavyweight. Yeah, this is at heavyweight. Jorge Gonzalez is going to come in, try and knock you out. Kenneth Berg's going to come in, try and clinch you up. Jorge Gonzalez, though, has a pretty good clinch game. He had beaten – what's his name? Sorry. Has beaten Luke Barnett, who is a UFC veteran, Ultimate Fighter veteran. Pretty good ground game, pretty good clinch game. So that gives me a bit of confidence in him coming into this fight against Kenneth Berg. And, with this fight, Kenneth Berg minus 150, Jorge Gonzalez plus 130. I'll take the dog. Why not?
Yeah, I was thinking the same idea. Why not take the dog in the first fight? I feel like dogs always win in the first or second fight. And Kenneth Berg is 8-0, 8-0-1, but he versus like straight out like dads, like on the streets, like guys who are 0-0 pro fighting and guys who are like 12-19, like literally like they're not positive records. And he's 8-0 off of that.
He's fighting a bunch of bums, but he's tatted up.
I mean, that doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything.
Jorge Gonzalez is coming off of a big layoff. You know that, right? He hasn't fought in like 20 months, apparently.
Fuck it.
But, I mean, I like that idea, taking the dog in the first fight against Kenneth Berg. Why not?
Why not?
My underdog is, a lot of these fighters, we don't know a lot about them. There's a lot of people making their debuts. This is going to be a card where people make a name for themselves, big knockouts. They want that bonus, that fight of the night bonus, performance of the bonus. I'm looking at Lerone Murphy versus Ricardo Ramos. These actually are two very, very similar fighters. And there's a lot of reverse line movement for Murphy. Before it was like minus 190 Ramos, and then now it's like minus 155. We all know Ramos is like an all-around monster jiu-jitsu guy. But Murphy is really too. Like these guys are really similar. I think Ricardo Ramos is like a bigger name. You agree with that? Like he's been around for a while.
I don't recall watching him, but sounds familiar.
Yeah, this is his actually like 7th UFC fight.
Oh, holy shit.
Yeah. And this is Murphy's 2nd. And Murphy is coming off a loss to Zybera Tukhugov.
Okay.
Where he was a huge underdog. And Ramos is on a 2-fight win streak. And I just like the number here. Why not take a shot with a new guy? Similar fighters. I think Murphy gets him in decision. He is 8-0 Murphy too.
Interesting.
8-0-1 he drawed.
Yeah, I think when you got two really similar fighters like that, why not take the dog and then see how the line kind of moves throughout the week, and then
definitely moving in the right direction for us.
Yeah, I like it.
So when we film again, Thursday?
It appears that way. We got a busy week.
Yep, definitely. 3 fight nights and 1 week. We'll get back to you on Thursday, but good luck Wednesday for this fight night. Ige versus Kattar.
Yep.
NJ Sweat's out.
Best of luck.
Peace.